Hello, I'm Samantha, and I am the co-founder of Open Bionics. Today I'm here to talk to you about the design and development of the Hero Arm, which is the very first 3D printed bionic arm for amputees. Open Bionics exists to create and democratize assistive technology that enhances the human body. So think of any kind of technology that increases quality of living and quality of mobility and independence. But we're not just interested in functionality. We want to super empower our users by turning their disabilities into superpowers. And we're starting with bionic hands for amputees. And this is why. This is Logan. We met him when he was 10 years old, and he was born without a hand. He's wearing his helper hand here. This is the very best technology available for kids his age. It's either this or a hook. And when you ask Logan how it makes him feel to wear it, he tells you that it makes him feel more disabled. He is really embarrassed to wear this device. He doesn't want his friends to see it, and when he wears it at school, people make fun of it. He also doesn't get any functionality from it. It has no movement. So his choice is this helper hand or a hook. We have been to the moon. Every single person in this room has a supercomputer in their pocket. We launched a Tesla into space for fun, and this technology is the best we can do for children born without hands or who lose hands. To me, this is mind-blowing. And so Open Bionics wanted to set out and take on this robotics challenge. And it started with the co-design process. And this is the main lesson I wanted to bring to you today: how important co-creation and co-design is in robotics and AI products. So when we first started out our design process, before we even put pen to paper, we started engaging with over 100 hand amputees. And we started with workshops. And in the very first workshop, we had a huge number of children who didn't have hands. And we just gave them a blank piece of paper and a bunch of crayons. And we said to them, please draw the device that you want to wear. What does it look like? How does it work? What features does it have? We gave them no ideas, no suggestions. And it was super interesting. Not one child in that workshop asked for a bionic hand that looked human. Every single child wanted a bionic hand that looked superhuman. They wanted a bionic hand that was their favorite color, inspired by their favorite cartoon, inspired by their favorite football club, and it had super features. Because when you're building a bionic hand, it's hardware. It doesn't need to replicate the human hand. The kids wanted removable fingertips that could house crayons. They wanted a bionic hand that could charge their mobile phone. And one of the standout insights from this process was that kids, more than anything, wanted to wear a piece of bionic technology that reflected their personality. The wearable technology, the bionic hand, has to reflect who they are as an individual. It's not just a medical device. It is something that they're going to wear on their body every day, potentially for the rest of their life. And so we took this away, and we thought, how can we make super empowering bionic arms? And so we approached Disney, and we asked Disney, will you help us turn children with limb differences into bionic superheroes? And they said yes. And so with the Marvel team, we designed the smallest multi-grip bionic hands available, the very first range of bionic hands for children, which included the Iron Man bionic arm, the Disney Frozen bionic arm, and the Star Wars lightsaber bionic arm. And the best thing about these bionic arms is that they're not just renders. We actually built them. So here is Logan with his new bionic arm. Here it's green because it's in Yoda mode. Here it's blue because it's in Luke Skywalker mode. And here you can see he's performing an advanced tripod grip. And you can see the sensors on his elbow here. And what he's doing is he's squeezing his muscles, and depending on how he squeezes his muscles, he can tell the fingers how to move. So the sensors are inside the socket here, and Logan has them on the outside of his arm. He also asked for the force choke mode, but Disney said no. The really big lesson here, and a huge takeaway from us, was just how empowered Logan felt. When he wore his helper hand, he hated it, he didn't want to wear it, it did nothing for him. When he wore the Star Wars arm, not only was it a functional medical tool that gave him more freedom of movement, but he was so happy to wear it, he didn't want to take it off. He was running around trying to find new people to shake their hand. He was so confident. And so we did the same for a girl called Sydney, who was 11 years old. Here she is performing a fine task, so again, functionality, but she also has a repulsor blaster that she can control. So her palm has an LED that she can light up, and she also has LED missiles that run up her arm. So we launched this project onto the world, the very first Bionic superheroes, and the community absolutely loved it. The amputee community said to us, wow, this feels like we've been listened to for the first time. Finally, we're not a clinical problem that someone's trying to solve, but we're people with interests and humor, and finally, there's a piece of technology that I actually want to wear and put on my body. The only bit of negative feedback we had was from the adult amputee community, who were like, okay, well, that's great for the kids, but where's ours? So we approached a video game company called Eidos Montreal and made the Adam Johnson arm and the Titan arm for Dan and Catherine, 2 adults who were born without hands. The really interesting thing about this video game is that in this world, people with disabilities aren't treated like second-class citizens. People with bionic arms are the elite. The bionic technology is so desirable, everyone wants one. It is their source of power, it's their source of strength. And so the messaging here is that the bionic arm is a source of power. And we brought that into real life for Dan and Catherine. Now I'm going to double down on the importance of co-creation. I know there are a lot of designers in the room and developers who are working on creating amazing AI products and amazing robotics products. The lesson here is to show your work early. I'm about to share with you a number of images and videos of prototypes that look extremely ugly. These are bionic hands that I'm not proud of, but you have to show them early because you need the feedback. You have to, on day one, start engaging with your end user who's going to be using your product. And this brings me to Tilly. So Tilly, we met her when she was 9 years old. She lost both of her hands to meningitis when she was a baby. And she's been co-developing with us for 5 years. She has been showing us what she uses these prototypes for at home, like really important things like makeup before school, actually important things like doing her homework, playing board games with her family, painting with her sisters, brushing her teeth, and stealing popcorn at the cinema. We also did lab testing, of course. So here you can see Tilly using what is called a pinch grip. It's a really fine motor task, and she nails it first time. And just for fun, I thought I'd show you the very first time Tilly ever wore any bionic technology. This is the very first thing that she did wearing her new arm.
Just try not to break anything. I'll knock anything over. Not the water.
And so after 5 years of co-development and co-design with Tilly, we think we made a product that users would love to wear. And so now I'm really excited to share with you our launch video, of which Tilly is a really big part. Thank you very much. Just one final thing to say, a huge thank you for your attention. And if you are curious and you want to try the Bionic arms yourself, after this session, I'm going to be by the fountain. You can come play with them, try them, move them around. And if there are any investors in the room that are interested in robotics, in the robotics space, it's a really amazing space. It's hugely life-changing. And there are a lot of opportunities here. So please come and talk to me after. I'll be outside. Thank you so much, everyone.